This is what Dr. Warner sent them. Hello, Blake. You guys have always been interested in Egypt and the Ark of the Covenant, so I am delighted to be giving you the first opportunity to use this announcement. But you will have to be quick. There is lots of video footage which you guys can use on my website. Just follow the links embedded in the document and browse the site for others. I am sending this message from my original incognito address, so you can follow the email trail below. But my official contact information is inside there. Document attached. Great Ark Retrieval Project, the Ark of the Covenant has been found. After 10 years of secret research by Dr. Warner, and using the scientific method, discussions began with the Egyptian Embassy, Washington, D.C. in September 2020, and scanning was finally approved by the Supreme Council of Antiquities in October 2022 as a precursor to excavation in 2024. Scientific revolution for the benefit of all mankind, a director of the Science Office. The Supreme Council of Antiquities. Now only one stone block stands between ignominy and a time capsule that reveals who we are. One stone block is all that remains at the end of the southern passage, leading to the secret twin subterranean chamber, the cave of the patriarchs, the burial tomb of Pharaoh Khufu, and the resting place of the Ark of the Covenant, which lies beneath the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Egypt is on the brink of a new dawn. Economic, religious, and scientific renewal awaits. And the long-awaited instrument of peace in the Middle East. Remove the block. Dr. Warner, the Egyptian people, and the people of the world demand it. On April 23rd, 2024, Southern Passage at the entrance. Dr. Warner enters the Southern Passage for the first time and begins setting up his scanning and measuring equipment. Southern Passage. At the block, Dr. Warner is inside the southern passage of the subterranean chamber. He is at the stone block which seals the way into the twin chamber containing the Ark of the Covenant and the Cave of the Patriarchs. The sounds you can hear form part of the survey technology, which form part of the data leading to the images of scans which show man-made structures on the other side of the stone block, and confirms the hypothesis that there are wonderful things on the other side. The survey team enters the descending passage to begin the long, difficult descent to the subterranean chamber deep underground and below the Great Pyramid.
في شغل يا احمد ها؟ هتلاقي معدات سلوك الكلام ده في شغل لسه دايما.
work.
يس. احمد ايه يا حبيبي؟ هتلاقي معدات وكامله في شغل لسه دايما ما خلصناش.
Ahmed, can you hold these? Thank you.
Tienen una dada.
Vale.
Maybe you can better like this. Muy ayudante, eres muy ayudante. Ayudante. A ver.
ايه؟
Give me a bag to help you.
Okay. You sure? Okay, thank you. I think I will go backwards once we get to the... And... Oh, my knee. I hurt my knee already.
The team includes Dr. Warner, an archaeologist from the Supreme Council of Antiquities, electricians, security and other support staff. Presentations to the Egyptian government were immediately received with enthusiasm and proved that the golden ark of the covenant, the altar of incense, and the tent of meeting are located in a second, twin, subterranean chamber under the Great Pyramid of Egypt.
Dr. Warner signing off, and we've agreed, after detailed analysis of the chamber and the southern passage, that it's been blocked off, and that Ahmed will be talking to Hamadi and sharing my data and presentations, and with the purpose of getting this wall scanned, or maybe even this passage, so that we can find the double chamber.
After joining the Scan Pyramid Scientific Consortium as a special advisor for the government, Dr. Warner carried out his final stage fieldwork in April 2024, which confirmed his hypothesis that the Cave of the Patriarchs is indeed a secondary subterranean chamber beyond the stone block which seals the end of the southern passage in the subterranean chamber. An unrelated team of French scientists had also confirmed Dr. Warner's hypothesis in 1989, when they drilled a borehole and identified sand on the other side of the stone block, which seals the end of the passage to the double cave. Dr. Warner's latest fieldwork also reveals that the edges of the block have been obfuscated over time. Dr. Warner will use his diplomatic skills and government experience to assist with the public awareness program, particularly as the Ark of the Covenant is relocated from the burial tomb and is presented for public viewing at the official opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the Jewel of the Nile. The ministry has received guidance from Dr. Warner for the urgent preparation of a range of holy pilgrimage offerings to accommodate the millions of faithful travelers flowing to Egypt. This is a photograph of the block, which you can see at the end of the southern passage in the subterranean chamber. Looking north down the southern passage, you can see how the passage turns at two separate stages. Diagrams acquired before the fieldwork, John and Morton Edgar 1923, suggested that the bend in the construction made the block blind to anyone observing from the entrance, but this is not the case. There is a moderate change in direction, but not enough to obfuscate the block at the end of the passage. One can clearly see that this is a block sealing the way into the secondary chamber, the delineation where the block meets the walls of the southern passage. A dead-end passage would not look like this. The diagram identifies the areas of interest: the subterranean chamber and the adjoining southern passageway. Twin chamber, this is a modified scan pyramids diagram showing the location of the hidden twin chamber, represented here as a yellow. This is an image of the man-made structures beyond the stone block sealing the hidden twin chamber. Man-made structures are further proof of Dr. Warner's hypothesis. What is the Egyptian government waiting for? Remove the block and find the Ark of the Covenant.
Could this be the discovery of a lifetime, and all it is a meter away behind a stone in the middle of the Great Pyramid? We wanted to speak with Dr. Warner, and he reached out to us with a statement with regards to this information just in.
Hi, Third Phase of Moon. It's Dr. Warner here. Thanks for taking an interest in my research project. My hypothesis, of course, is that the Ark of the Covenant is in a twin chamber below the Great Pyramid of Egypt, which to some might sound extraordinary, but when you look at the data, which is substantial, significant, triangulated across the three main religions of the Middle East, I've studied it from an entomological point of view, that is to say, the root meaning of the words rather than the words themselves. And when looked at in that context, it becomes apparent, not just to me, but to any reasonable person, that the Great Pyramid of Egypt is the mountain of Israel, the Mount of Olives, or the Muhammad's mountain, the Jabal al-Nur. But I looked at these from a scientific point of view and not a religious point of view. And when I presented the full data to the science director at the Supreme Council of Antiquities, his reaction was that it was a scientific discovery for the benefit of all humanity. And of course it has the potential to be that, and it has the potential to establish peace in the Middle East immediately, because all hostilities in the Middle East are over land and who has the rights to occupy them. And the research fundamentally points to a key area of land which is on the Giza plateau. And now only one stone block lies between us and that discovery. The Ark of the Covenant and the Tomb of Khufu in a twin subterranean chamber under the Great Pyramid of Egypt. Now, given the hostilities in the Middle East and the region at the minute, some of my scientific colleagues have got cold feet at a time when we need to summon all our courage and a resolution towards finding out the truth. So, anyone who finds those claims extraordinary or unbelievable needs to look at the research data itself. So let's not have arguments out of ignorance. Let's look at the data. Let's look at the facts, as the Egyptians have, and you too and any other reasonable person will come to that conclusion. So what I want to say to my friends and colleagues in Egypt is be courageous. Don't let Zahi Hawass and people like him who are interested in, self-aggrandization and wealth or power, don't let them stand in the way of scientific truth. What we need is to find out what's behind that block. And we're waiting for Scan Pyramid's mission to use their muon radiation equipment to look beyond that stone block, as I have, and see in detail what's there. Now, if you go on my website, you'll see the scan which shows the man-made structures beyond the block. But I've done that with my own technology. What we need to do is have Scan Pyramids do it with theirs, okay? Because they can go 30 meters into stone to verify a void. And we need to do that. We need to do that in the interests of truth, in the interests of stability in the Middle East, because a discovery of the Ark of the Covenant and the Tomb of Khufu would put an immediate stop to and raise questions over what we're fighting for. In fact, I look forward to a day when all countries and belief systems in the Middle East will come to Giza, to Egypt, to visit this great mountain, which plays a very important part in our anthropological history. When I did my final fieldwork trip on the 23rd of April this year, the moon was in its third phase.
Interesting stuff. The third phase is a major effect, and Thirdphaseofmoon has brought you an exclusive with regards to Dr. Warner coming forward with his evidence and his theories of where the Ark of the Covenant really exists, and could it be in this sub-chamber underneath the pyramid. All we have to do, apparently, according to Dr. Warner, is remove this one stone and we will see the world in a different aspect. Brent, what do you make of all this?
Yeah, that's the number one question. What's behind this stone? And Warner makes all sorts of great statements in regards to what's happening behind there. This is exclusive footage that nobody has ever seen inside the lower chambers of the Great Pyramid of Giza. This is an exclusive, so this is groundbreaking information. He ties it all in his website. There's so much to go over. we might have to follow up with Dr. Warner on all this information. This is kind of just a sneak peek on what's happening within this kind of information that's kind of breaking right now.
Yeah, I was on the phone extensively over the past 48 hours with Dr. Warner, and he has a game plan with regards to sharing this information in real time. Could you imagine a live event with internet repeaters that could get into this sub chamber, and we could broadcast live as the stone is removed to reveal what possibly could be within this chamber? According to Dr. Warner, all his research leads to this one place, and it's an interesting aspect to think about, and we're really excited to see where this leads. All we're saying is that, could it be? Dr. Warner is pretty much 100% confident, but we need to get awareness and an opinion developing and ask the government of Egypt and even our own government right here in the United States to pressure archaeologists to actually open this up. I think they're waiting to do it maybe 20 years from now, but we don't have that time. We should do it immediately. The world could change.
Yeah, Dr. Warner has been on this subject for 20 years, and he just broke down maybe a 20-minute segment right here in Third Phase Moon. There's so much information that he's breaking down, which he's trying to basically put X marks a spot, and he explains it in so many ways that's fascinating. This is impressive. What I like about this is that it's a total exclusive, and we just saw parts of the Giza pyramid that we've never seen before.
It's actually interesting when you go back to the video that we just shared as they're entering into the pyramid, going deep down to the subterranean chamber, that the archaeologists and some of the guides are actually saying that Dr. Warner is in an aspect of a territory that is being shown to him in the world right now. Like, this is special access. So what's going on underneath the pyramid? In my opinion, it could be something that is beyond comprehension. Let's just put it that way. Everybody, be safe. We'll have some follow-ups right here at Third Phase Moon with regards to this possible major discovery and more UFO videos. Buckle up. We'll see you next time.
We'll catch y'all later.
Let's just keep the chat going in this live premiere, and we want to hear your thoughts. And we'll be in the chat with you.